Dre all day.
Baldwin, balloverseas.com, the overseas basketball blueprint. Today I'm going to tell you about one specific trait that every professional basketball player possesses. And if you plan on becoming or remaining a professional basketball player, you must have this trait as well. Before we get into that, please like, comment, share this video, or wherever you happen to be, watching, listening to this, whatever. So, the answer to the teaser that I gave you just a few seconds ago. The one thing that every pro basketball player has that everybody will need to be a pro and stay a pro is you need one outstanding, you need a standout skill or a standout attribute. Or we could say skill, attribute, talent. I'm using them all interchangeably in this conversation. In different conversations, I may use them differently, but in this one, they mean all the same thing. For example, being 7 feet tall. You ever seen a basketball player that's real tall, 6'10", 7 feet, and he didn't even seem to even like basketball like that, but they keep playing basketball and they got a career in basketball, even though they probably don't even care about the game like that. They've been playing their whole life because everywhere they went, everybody's like, man, you should be a basketball player. So they went and did it. All right, that is the standout attribute. Being 7 feet tall is a standout attribute on a basketball court. If you are a player who's a really good ball handler, you never turn the ball over, and you're great at getting your team into their offense, and you're great at harassing the opposing point guard to keep them from getting their team into their offense, that can be your standout skill. If you're a lights out shooter, you can just knock down every three-pointer, you might not even be that great at anything else. I mean, look around in the NBA, you see players all the time who are great outside shooters. They might not be great on defense. They don't really score at the rim. They don't even dribble. But they're such great outside shooters that they always end up on good teams and they always keep getting jobs. Why? Because that's their standout skill. If you're super athletic, a player who can jump out of the gym, that can be your standout skill that can get you into the game. If you got a great handle or a great, maybe every once in a while you got a player who's just a great all-around player. Now, being a great all-around player is relative. It depends on where you're playing. Now, great all-around players like LeBron James, he's in the NBA playing for the Lakers, at least as of this recording. But you could be 6'6" guy who's a great all-around player, maybe not LeBron's talent, but that can get you a career playing somewhere in Europe or playing in Asia or playing in Australia or Mexico or something like that. So being a great all-around player relative to the competition where you can do multiple things, you can bring the ball up, you can shoot, you can score at the rim, you can lock up on D, 5 positions, you're a great leader, you're vocal, your teammates follow your lead, you can galvanize the club. That can be your all-around skill. But every professional basketball player has a standout skill. Now, why does this matter? Because when you're going somewhere like a professional basketball exposure camp, like what I wrote this whole book about, The Truth About Exposure Camps, you get, 2 days, 3 days, a week to show your game to these people who are watching you. They don't know anything about the 10 years that you put in working on your game. They don't know anything about the fact you get up at 5 in the morning every day to grind. They don't know about the 2 and 3 workouts you do every day. They don't give a damn about the drills you've been posting on YouTube and showing everybody on Instagram how you're working out and taking pictures of your workout gear at the end of the workout. Like, yeah, me and my man, we got better today. They don't care about any of that shit. All they care about is what they see you do for that 2 days at that exposure camp against other guys who are professional level players. And if you don't do your thing in those 2 days, then it's a wrap. It's not a wrap, not for your career, but it's a wrap for that opportunity. And now you got to go find another one to get your chance to show what you can do. What that means is, how that ties to the point that I made here at the beginning, is that whatever your standout skill is, you need to get on the court and just show that. Whatever that thing is, go do it. I've told you, just telling the story of when I went to my first exposure camp. I remember when I first got in the game, my first game at my first exposure camp, I came off the bench the first game, and I didn't really do nothing for like the first 2-3 minutes on the court. Then the timeout got called, and I told myself, like, yo, you better do something. You spent the last of the money you got, what little money you got, to come to this camp. You don't do something here, and it's back to the 9 to 5, and who knows if you'll ever get another shot. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna be aggressive. And my thing at that point in my career, my pro career hadn't even started yet, was athleticism. So next time I got the ball, I just did a hard jab step one way, went the other way, and I just tried to bang on this big dude. And he kind of fouled me. So the ball kind of went in, but I didn't actually hit the rim. So, it's like that dunk, but you didn't touch the rim. And the crowd was like, whoa. And that was like my aggressive. That was my thing. That was the standout skill that I had. And I'm telling you that to impress upon you. I knew that was my standout skill. I'm like, all right, all I got to do is get me a couple dunks here, because y'all play ball. If somebody gets a couple dunks in the game, everybody's going to remember the guy who got the dunks, even if they don't do nothing else. They might not have no handle. They can't shoot. They don't play no defense. They can't even play basketball, period. They're just athletic and they got a couple dunks. Everybody's going to remember the guy that got dunked. So I got a couple dunks in like my first game. And I got several dunks over the course of that weekend. It was only 2 days. And that made me stand out. People remembered me because of that. Now, I could actually play basketball. I could do other things besides dunk. But the thing that everybody remembered was the dunks. And that standout skill is what helped get me on. And there were other players at other camps that I went to. There were guys who were great ball handlers. They were great at running the offense, great at getting into the lane and taking advantage of what the defense gave, passing off and getting their teammates involved. There were guys who were great defenders who were just locking people up. They would guard the best offensive players and lock those guys up. There were guys who were great at protecting the rim. There were guys who were just tall. They might not even be good, but everybody noticed them because they 6'11", and there's nobody else there who's 6'11". So that can make you stand out. In life, sometimes it may be imbalanced like that, but all of life is imbalanced. All right, this is just the way that it works. If you're watching this, you're a player who has a special amount of ability when it comes to playing basketball. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching a video like this. So how many other people had the skill that you have on a basketball court? So life ain't supposed to be balanced. So when you see someone else, maybe get an opportunity, they didn't have to go as hard as you. That's just how it is. That's just how it works, folks. So focus on, here's the takeaway from this. Focus on what is your standout skill. What's the one thing that you can do when you get on the court that will make people remember you and notice you no matter where you play? And then when you go to an exposure camp, you only got 2 days to show it. You better show that thing from the beginning and focus your play on showing that standout skill, because that's the thing that the scout or the coach who is watching, that's what they're going to remember about you. That's the thing that's going to jump off the screen when somebody's watching a film from that exposure camp that you went to. And that's the thing, that's all they need. All right, people ain't going to do a whole 10-year deep dive into your whole life. They're going to go off the first few things they see, the things you can put on your highlight tape, the things that people will say about you in the scouting report. What is that standout skill that will make you, that will separate you from everybody else out there? And if you look around at people who play professionally, when you're playing in the summer times and you play against somebody who plays overseas or somebody who plays in the G League or somebody who plays in the league, I guarantee you they all have at least one standout skill. Now, they might not be able to show it when playing. If a guy's standout skill is being a great role player, defender, screen setter, charge taker, and then you go put him in the Drew League in California in the summertime, he might not be able to show that skill in that league because that's not the type of setting where that works. So then you're looking at him like, oh, how he in the league? I'm better than him. I can score more points than him. Well, see, he ain't in the league because he scores points. He's in the league because what he does in that particular role on these particular teams he's been on. You playing in the summer league where everybody's just going one-on-one and scoring points, yeah, that can make you look good there, but can you do that where he does it, where he does the charge taking? Can you do that there? Can you do that for the Clippers or the Mavericks or the Spurs? Probably not. So understand that standout skill is not necessarily that you may have that one thing over everybody everywhere that you go. And the higher levels that you go, the higher chance you're going to need to be a role player and not just a superstar. I'll talk about that in a separate piece of content. But understand that a standout skill is what you're going to need when you go to an exposure camp. People want to be able to see that, and you have to make it your duty to put that on display so that people recognize it. Don't have them going trying to figure it out like Sherlock Holmes trying to figure out what your skill is. Your job is to make sure that skill is obvious, because that's the thing that is going to catch their attention, and it's the only thing they need to remember about you if it's impressive enough that can help you get on. So if you haven't yet gotten your free copy of this book called The Overseas Basketball Blueprint, go to the link down below. It's called balloverseas.com. That's the website. The book is free. All you're doing is covering the shipping. We ship this to you worldwide, anywhere that you live. We just ordered another, I think we got another 25, 50 copies coming actually tomorrow from when I'm recording this, because we keep selling out of these. But we got more of them coming on the way. Again, we used to sell this book for, I think we used to sell for $49.95 on Amazon. I think it's on Amazon right now for either $39 or $29.95. I'm giving it to you free. Just cover the shipping. I'll ship it to you anywhere that you live. And if you want to get the full Overseas Blueprint bundle, I just showed you this book about exposure camps. Then we got the book called Basketball Agents Decoded. I mean, self-explanatory. It's about agents. And then Overseas Basketball Secrets talks about the business side of the professional basketball world so that you understand it. Once you get in the game doesn't play you. You can play the game. So get all that at balloverseas.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.